Welcome back to R&R Characters, where there's no script and we just kind of talk our mind. I am the Rue Show.
And I'm Aaron Seawolf.
And today's, as you can see from the thumbnail, is Endeavor.
Ooh.
So Endeavor just had a big showing from the last episode of My Hero Academia of Season 4 and from the latest manga chapters. So, Aaron, let's talk Endeavor.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love Endeavor for the most part. I love him. Minus the whole child abuse thing. You can't
really minus that.
Can't really get skirt around that. I love his character design. I love him in a fight. Personality, he's a dick. But I want to talk mostly about the fights because he can't defend a child abuser.
So
for the most part,
I'm going to defend him.
Oh, okay. Well, you
can
play devil's advocate.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. So you can never forget what he did. That's first and foremost. He was a horrible person.
You're about to die on a bridge trying to defend it.
So I'm playing devil's advocate, and so Endeavor, as a human being and as a father, can never be redeemed. As a husband, can never be redeemed. He has to live with what he has done for his whole life. He is a shit person, and he lived his life as a shit person for mostly all of it. However, you don't have to live your life as a shit person for your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You can change. You can get better. You can see the flaws you had. And that's what I love about his character. You see a man, when you're introduced to him, you see like pretty much an abusive father. That's how he's introduced. He's an abusive father. He looks like a power hungry mother trucker. But this is without knowing him yet. But he's like, I just want to make the perfect creation. I'm only with you because I want to make the perfect son. But you're seeing the human side of him now, in the sense of him developing, him trying to get better as a father. And I mean, to me, I would never see him. If he was my father, I would never forgive him at all, to be perfectly honest. But I can respect that he is trying.
He's trying to make an active change.
Yeah.
That's admirable in a sense, to try and atone for the crappy things he's done in the past.
And that's why I think he's atoning for his. It's like if he was in jail for murder, and now for the rest of his life he's atoning for his sin. And I think
by actively saving lives, as many as he could, to make up for the one life he took, even though he didn't. It's just
the analogy. But
I get where you're coming from with that.
And I think
that's the right way to play his character now that they're doing that.
Like, Endeavor is one of the best characters in the show because of this, in my eyes. When
it makes him so much more complex.
Yeah, instead of him just
have that.
A lot of creators would just make him as an abusive father, and that's his whole story. Mm-hmm. He's just a dick. He's an abusive father, and have no redeeming qualities, and his redemption is almost like bullshittery. But instead, he's actually there's no full change onto him. It's slow, like real life. You don't just change as a person in a month, as in a day. It takes, like in a lot of anime, a lot of characters just change off the top of a hat, like bang, he's all good now. No, this is going to take a long periods of time to develop for his life to fully change as a good man. And I appreciate that.
That's what you need.
I appreciate his redemption arc.
Realistic. Can you imagine if My Hero had tried to just make him instantly, oh, I see the error of my ways, I will be better now. No one would like him. We'd see that it's just a plot contrivance. They're just like, oh, he did the bad stuff, but now he's good. It's like, it's just not how it works.
I would 100%.
Slow burn is so much better.
I would 100% say if they did that, that'd be the worst way to do it. Either you have him as an abusive motherfucker for the rest of his times, or you actually slowly redeem him. But if you just changed him on the top of a hat, which a lot of people, I'm glad, aren't a fan of him, because they shouldn't be. You're not supposed to be a fan of this. I'm not a fan of him as a person, but I'm a fan of him as a character that's being developed. As a fictional character, he is written very well. It's the same way of people like, I love Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. He did push a kid out of a roof.
The first episode that
he's killed many hundreds of people, but
had sex with his sister.
Has sex with his sister next to his. Not getting spoilers, Game of Thrones, but in general, you can like a character even if they're a shit person.
Oh, for sure. Some of the
And
most well-liked characters in history have been antagonists and or villains, and to a degree, sometimes Endeavor can be more of an antagonist than the hero that he is.
yeah, who's the worst
But
person, Endeavor or a Light Yagami from Death Note? Probably Light,
oh, Light for
obviously.
sure. He actually murders people. What do you mean?
Yeah, but some people don't kind of have this hatred for Light, is what I'm getting at.
They can see where he's coming from, and that is
That's
that
another
is
box.
definitely a topic for another day because he is a very fun character. But back to Endeavor,
Hmm.
he is. It's really interesting that the last chapter ends with him doing something badass, and the last episode of the anime ends with him doing something badass. Like that, there's no way those things were planned. I just think that it's kind of like a duality thing because there's been a lot of duality going along in life
Hmm.
right now, and that's pretty cool. His fight scenes are next level, and the music that usually goes along with Endeavor is perfect. Like there's the short scene I think when you first see him fighting the first set of improved Nomu, which are absolutely wrecking every hero in the city, and one of them just like creates a cloud of dust and is about to demolish this woman. He comes out of right screen, decks the mother trucker, and he flies. It's so refreshing to have a hero who's the same size as the bruisers on the opposite side of the team. You ever notice that? Like normally the heroes are way smaller
Hmm.
than most of the villain characters are fighting, but Endeavor is as big, if not bigger, than most of the like villains that you'll find. He's like All Might in that sense.
Yeah, he's a
They're
base.
larger than life bruisers, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, when it comes to his character design, yeah, most of my hero character designs are all 10 out of 10s because they're all different. You don't see one person, you're like, I mean, not obviously background characters, but you don't see a single person and you're like, oh my gosh, this person
Everything
looks like
that
this person.
yeah, everything that they're wearing and how they act fits their character and their quirk. And I think that's a big thing. Like he puts himself off as a standoffish, always on guard person. I mean, his mustache and beard are fire. Like he literally is so extra that his mustache and beard are just on fire
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
always wondered that, like, have we seen him without it being fire before?
Yes,
Okay, so it's when he's in
I
his
think
hero
so.
costume for the most part, if he's not in his
Yeah, he
hero
just has
costume.
it activated.
Okay, that makes
Uh
sense then.
and it's so fun because he's just so extra that he always has to have the fire on. Half of his costume is his own flame, just on. And
Flame on!
I would argue some of his fight scenes rival that of All Might.
Yeah, Endeavor had one of the best fight scenes after last episode. Just, my last message to my hero fans that hate Endeavor, I understand your hatred of who he is. For
Mm-hmm.
sure. Don't get me wrong about that. I will fully agree with you that he is a horrible person at the end of the day. He has to redeem the rest of his life and he'll still be a horrible person. But you got to love his character development. You have to
Mm-hmm.
love him trying not to be a horrible person anymore. You have to love him trying, like, just think about the shittiest thing you ever did. It doesn't, just anything you ever did. And then trying to redeem yourself from that, trying to get yourself out of that hole, and imagine everyone attacking you, saying, "How dare you try to get out that hole? Why do you? No one likes." That's kind of what he deals with, almost even in his hero life. It's like not just by the
It's gonna be a
fans, but by his
long.
actual character in his world. That's what he deals with.
It's gonna be a long climb, especially for coming from his son, because his son is his main motivation to change himself as a character, and his son is the one person who he has wronged the most.
Yeah, his son.
So if he ever gets accepted by his son, that'll be an emotional moment for this series, I
Yeah,
think, because that's his source of why he wants to better himself as a hero. I think, and he now has a scar exactly like his son's. You know, he was the indirect cause of Todoroki's
Scar.
scar. He
Yep.
wasn't the cause of it; he was the indirect cause. But now he at least has a mirror of it. And I love how the anime or the manga plays it off as a joke when they first introduce his son and him after he has the scar. He just has this blank stare. It's like, that's a big scar there.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, he's just slurping on some noodles and you just see him walk in and he's got the giant, massive fate like scar, and Todoroki's just like, nice scar.
Huh.
And just keep eating. Oh, it is so great.
All right.
The shade. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about with and or about Endeavor? Because I think we both gushed about him just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys like Endeavor or do you hate Endeavor? Do you hate me now for liking Endeavor's character development, but not as a person, obviously? Just let us know. And you can find everything about me on The Roof Show, twitter.com, The Roof Show. And Aaron, what about you? Just in the description?
I know, we'll just put everything down in the description, and then let us know if there's any characters that you guys want us to talk about. Otherwise, we might just keep going down the list of anime that we really like.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
We'll see you guys later.